Hello guys, welcome to Coding Fast. So today we are going to have a complete revision of information technology for class 10th, and we are going to discuss top 40 most important questions for information technology subject for class 10th. That will be based on the 4 units: digital documentation, electronic spreadsheet, database management systems, and web application security. Moving on to question 1, we have what are styles, give advantages of using styles, and explain different style types in OpenOffice Writer. So a style is a set of formats that you can apply to select pages, text frames and other elements in the document to change its look and appearance. What are they? It is a set of formats that you can apply to selected pages or text frames or other elements in your document to change its look and appearance. Okay. Advantages of using styles: it ensures consistency throughout the document. So if you use styles, our document becomes consistent. It looks similar all of it throughout the document. Consistency occurs. Efficiency in formatting the document: we can format the document very easily, efficiently by using styles. Flexibility in making changes to the document: the changes that we want to make to the document will be easily made by using styles. We have flexibility to make those changes, to replicate those changes, making the document easy to understand. So by various formatting features that we apply to this document, the document becomes very easy for us to understand. It makes the document easy to understand. Now second part is different types of styles that are available in Writer. What are they? Paragraph styles: it is used to format paragraphs including indentation, line spacing and font style. So paragraph styles is used to format what? Paragraphs, and it includes what? Indentation and line spacing and font size or various other properties of the paragraph. Second is page styles. Page styles is used to format the overall appearance of page including margins, headers and footers. So these are some of the parameters that you can change by page styles, like margins of the page, appearance of the page, headers and footers. Third is character styles. It is used to format individual characters or text including font type, size, color, etc. So these are the various characteristics that you can change with using character styles. Now fourth, we have frame styles. It is used to format graphics and text frames. So there are certain frames available in the page, like you must have seen in your book there is a frame here which is describing about some definition of something or some special features of a thing. That is known as a frame. So frame style is used to format the graphics and text frames. Fifth is what? List styles. It is used to format numbered list and bulleted list. So list style is used to apply various formatting features to list, numbered list and bulleted list. Like, see, a list we have created here 1 2 3 4 5. So this is a numbered list. Similarly, bulleted lists are also present above. Advantages and advantages, we have made this bulleted list. So formatting all of these is possible with using list styles. Question number 2, what is fill format mode? Fill format mode is a feature of Writer that allows us to apply a style to various document objects that are present on different locations. So it is a feature that is used to apply styles only, but in a manner of a very fast way. Okay, it is a feature of Writer that allows us to apply a style to various document objects that are present on different locations in a very fast manner. What is a template and advantages of using template? A template is an empty document that contains all the formatting features and can be used to make more similar documents of the same format. So a template is what? It is basically an empty document which contains formatting features and can be used to make more similar documents of the same format. Okay, clear हो गया? Advantages of using templates: document creation is made easier by the use of templates. So by using templates we can make the document creation easier. It saves times as similar formatting can be applied to multiple documents. It saves time to format the documents. Third is makes a document easier to understand. So templates make the document easier to understand as now formatting has been applied to it, so it is easier to understand. Difference between styles and template: so this is one of the important questions that is asked. Styles and templates, difference between. Styles is what? It is applied to format a single document object. Template, it is used to format a complete document. Styles can be, there can be multiple styles in a document, and templates, they can only be one template in a document. For the whole document you can only apply one template, but you can apply multiple styles to the document, multiple styles. Okay. Third is styles may make a document look consistent and better. Templates make a whole project look consistent and better. So by styles you can make a document look consistent, but the template, as you have seen, it is a single template is applied to the whole document, so it changes the look and feel of the whole project. Fifth question, what are images or drawing objects? Give their properties. So image refers to various bitmap images or scanned pictures or gallery photos. And drawing object refers to auto shapes or various objects formed by lines and curves or graphic text art. Images, as you may have seen, various kind of images that are present in our phones, scanned images or gallery photos, any kind of photos that we have are referred to as images. And drawing objects are what? These are auto shapes or various other objects formed by lines, curves or graphics text art. Properties of images and drawing objects are: first is brightness. It increases or decreases the intensity of light in an image. So in an image, how much light is there is described by the brightness of the image. Contrast, the overall lightness or darkness of the image is known as contrast of the image. Third is what? Transparency, the decrease in the intensity of color of the image to make the image see-through. So transparency, what? To make the image transparent, so we can see through the image. Like this logo I have applied in the background for making watermarks. This all is possible by changing the various properties of images, by applying transparency to the image. Color, it is used to increase or decrease a certain color of in the image. Size, we can enlarge or shrink the image according to our requirements. We can resize the image, we can change the size of the image. Sixth question is, what is cropping and resizing of image? Cropping of image means removing any continuous unwanted part of image starting from the edge. Resizing of image means increasing or decreasing the size of the image. So cropping में हमें क्या पता चलता है? It is removing any continuous unwanted part. Any part we want to remove that is continuous and is unwanted starting from the edge. And resizing of image is what? Increasing or decreasing the size of the image. What is keep scale and keep image size in cropping of image? So there are two options available to be selected while cropping an image. That are what? Keep scale and keep image size. Keep scale, when keep scale is selected, the cropping does not change the scale of the image. And when keep image size is selected, the cropping results in either enlargement or shrinking of the remaining image to fit the original size. That is, the size of the image does not change. So in one case, in the case of keep image size, the size of the image does not change, it remains the same. Whereas in the case of keep scale, the size of the image changes. As we crop some part, that part is removed and the image is made up of a smaller size now. Eighth question, what is table of contents in writer? Explain the benefits of making the table of contents automatically. Table of contents refers to the table present on the starting of any document that lists all the contents of the document in the form of headings, subheadings and sub-subheadings. So table of content, all of you must have seen, it is present in the starting of your book, and it refers to what? It lists down all the contents of the book, all the contents of the document in the form of what? Headings, subheadings and sub-subheadings. The benefits of making table of content automatically is all the topics get included automatically. So when we generate this table of content automatically, all the topics that are present in our documents get listed in there and all the topics get included automatically. Second is, any changes in the content can be included by simply updating the table. So if we make any changes to the content, that can also be included by simply doing what? Updating of the table. Third point, various formatting features can be applied to table of content. So if you want that our heading should be of different color and sub-subheading should be of different color, or our heading should be indented a little bit more and subheading should be present after that, or it should be in a different font, that all kind of features, formatting features, we can apply by using this table of content feature of the writer. Okay, explain arrangement, alignment, anchoring and text wrapping. So these are all the four terms that are related to images. So we are going to discuss all four of these. Arrangement refers to how the images are stacked upon each other on an imaginary z-axis. So the various images that are present one over the other. Suppose we have four images. So how they are present? Suppose this is an overlapping image. So above it another image is present. So on top of it another image is present. So how they are stacked upon each other on the imaginary z-axis. That is known as arrangement. Alignment refers to the horizontal or vertical placement of the image. Example, right aligned, left aligned, center aligned. These you all must be knowing. Right aligned, left aligned, center aligned. These are the various alignments. Similarly, the images can be also aligned, right aligned, left aligned, center aligned. They can also be present in the same alignment. Third is anchoring. Anchoring refers to attaching the image to any object or a document like page, paragraph, character or image as a character. So anchoring refers to what? Attaching the image to any object on the document. When we attach the image to any object on the document, suppose I have a picture here of Swami Vivekanand, suppose, and I have a paragraph here that is defining about Swami Vivekanand. So I am going to attach that image to that paragraph that is going to describe our Swami Vivekananda. Now I am attaching the image to that another image, to the paragraph, to that image. So this is known as anchoring, when we attach the image to the paragraph or character or like any other image. Fourth point, we have text wrapping. Text wrapping refers to the placement of text around the image. Example, optimal, before and after, and parallel. So how the various text that is present in the document is related to the image, whether it is present in the optimal location before, or it flows after the image gets over, or it is in parallel continuation with the image, like it is present before the image, then image is present, and then again text comes. Like, so these are the various options of placement of image, placement of text around the image. This is known as text wrapping. Question number 10. What is mail merge? Explain its benefits and its components. Mail merge is a feature of Writer that lets you generate personalized letters and emails to be sent to a large number of people at once. So it is a feature of Writer that lets you do what? It lets you generate personalized letters or emails to be sent to large number of people at once. So we can generate, suppose I have a function at my house and I want to send the invite of that function to suppose 50 people by addressing their names specifically, like Mr. A, Mr. B, Mr. C. You are coordinately in Mr. A, you are coordinately invited to our function that is going to be happening at our residence on such and such date. So I can generate the same letter for Mr. B also with the name changed, like Mr. B, you are coordinately invited. Similarly for Mr. C also. So this feature, mail merge feature of Writer, lets us do this task of generating personalized letters or emails for multiple number of people or for large number of people. What is the benefit of using this mail merge? It saves our time, as bulk letters and documents can be generated all at once. The possibility of any error gets reduced. There is no possibility of error that can occur because it is happening, all of the work is happening automatically. The recipient feels good. Most important feature, the recipient feels special to get a personalized email or letter. So what do they feel? That we have written a letter specifically addressing to them, writing their name, their address, or any of their other data that we have, we can include in that letters. Okay, moving on to next unit, electronic spreadsheet. First topic is what is data consolidation and subtotals. Data consolidation, it refers to gathering the data from multiple sources or different worksheets to be summarized into a single sheet. Various mathematical functions like sum, average, count can be applied to data to help in analysis. So it refers to what? It refers to gathering the data from multiple sources. Suppose I have data, I have the sales data present in sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3, sheet 4. That is respective of the year 2021, 22, 23, 24. Now I want to summarize those data in next sheet, sheet 5, that is going to show me the total of the sales of that is happening in all the 4 months. So I can do that by using data consolidation. It refers to gathering the data. It is going to gather the data from all the sheets, sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3, sheet 4, and it is going to summarize that data in the sheet 5. And also we can apply various mathematical functions like sum function, average, count to be applied to the data. That is going to help us in analysis. It is going to show us the total sum related to our data, or average or count, any of the function we can apply. Next is subtotal. Subtotal is a feature of CalC that lets us group the data based on the column values and generate totals by applying various statistical functions. So when we want to group the data based on the column values, based on the column labels, we want to group the data and we want to generate totals of those values by applying various statistical functions. Same statistical functions, what can be there? They can be sum, average, count, or any mathematical functions we can apply, and we want to generate the totals. So totaling is done based on the column label. Grouping of data is done, that is done by subtotals. Next question, question number 2. What is what if analysis and when it is used? So what if analysis is a process of changing values in a cell to see how those values are going to affect the output of various formulas in a worksheet in CalC. Different what if analysis tools are goal seek, scenario, and solver. So it is a process of changing values in a cell. So when we have some input values, when we have some data values in CalC, and now we have some functions applied to it and some output is there, we want to change those values that are the input values of the cells, and we want to see how it is going to affect the output of the formulas in the worksheet. That we can do by using what if analysis, this feature. 3 parts we have: goal seek, scenario, and solver. When it is used, it is generally used when we have to make some decision based on facts and figures or values of a spreadsheet. So when we have to decide some facts and figures. So when we have to make some decisions based on the values that are given, then we use this what if analysis. Question number 3, explain goal seek, scenario and solver. So now these three parts definition we are going to see of goal seek, scenario and solver. Goal seek, it is a feature of CalC that lets us calculate backwards to obtain an input from a desired output. Example, calculating number of pens to be sold to get rupees 1000 when one pen costs rupees 12. Suppose I want to get rupees 100 as my final sales, and the cost of selling one pen is rupees 12. So how many pens do I need to sell? It is simple maths, no? We can do it. So only one unknown variable is there. The main functionality of goal seek is that what? Only one unknown variable is there. Suppose number of pens we have to find out here. Similarly, by doing simple maths, we can calculate number of pens. So this feature lets us calculate a single goal. A goal seek. A goal is there. We know the goal. We know the output value, and we want to know what should be the input value to obtain an input from a desired output. Got it? Second point is scenario. In this what if analysis tool, where a complete model is formulated to find out how changing inputs are going to affect the output. Example, multiple unknown values, like suppose this is a polynomial 3x square plus 2y plus 7z cube is equal to 15,000. Now there are three unknown values x, y, z. They all can vary. Any value x can assume, any value y can assume, any value z can assume. So for ranging that, for what this value is going to change 1500. So I am going to change these values. Scenario lets us do what? It lets you make a complete model is formulated to find out how changing inputs is going to affect the output. Changing inputs, when we are going to change the values of x ranging from low to high, or changing the values of y, or changing the values of z, then how this amount, final amount, that is 1500, is going to change. That we are going to see with the help of scenarios. Okay. Third is solver. This is an advanced form of goal seek. It lets us calculate what should be the most appropriate value to multiple unknown variables for maximizing and minimizing the result. Suppose let us consider this previous equation 3x square plus 2y plus 7z cube. Now we have to find out what should be the values of x, y and z so that it results in the highest output, the highest answer is there. So this can be calculated by using solver. Or what should be the minimum values, what should be the value so that minimum is the answer of this equation. So this can also be calculated by solver. So we have to calculate the most appropriate values that are resulting in maximum or minimum results, and this is done by solver. Understood? Question number 4, what is the use of sharing a spreadsheet? So sharing of worksheet is useful when data in a worksheet have to be formatted by multiple users, or when multiple people want to work on a single worksheet. So when multiple people want to work on a single worksheet, then we can make the use of sharing of worksheet, and it can be shared among different users. They can provide their inputs, or they can format those worksheets and make their changes one by one in their individual systems. Question number 5, what are hyperlinks? Explain different types of hyperlinks. What are the benefits of using hyperlinks? So hyperlink, what is hyperlink basically? A hyperlink is a link clicking on which we can open a file, document or image or any other object, also known as a digital reference to a data object or a document element. So hyperlink is a link, simply it is a link clicking on which we can open what? We can open a file, or we can open a document, or we can open any image or any other object, also known as a digital reference. So this link is acting like a reference to something. It is like acting like a digital reference to a data object or to a document element. Types of hyperlinks. So there are various types of hyperlinks that are given in your syllabus, like relative hyperlink. It is a hyperlink that contains the address that is related to the destination file and your current location of the document. So suppose you want to go to a folder, and that is contained in the same folder where your file is present, where your spreadsheet is present. So then you just need to go out of that file, though in the same folder you can find the different file. So relative hyperlink is going to state what? It is going to state like // two dots and then slash. Two dots are going to go forward. It is going to take us to the back folder, and slash is going to send us to that folder, and then we can access those hyperlinks. Whereas absolute hyperlink is what? It is the hyperlink that contains the location of the file or a document starting from the root folder. So absolute hyperlink is going to describe the location of that file or folder from the root folder. So root folder is what? Root folder is nothing. It is the folder that is the starting point of your Windows. Suppose you are working in Windows, then Windows local disk C or any of the drive local disk C where generally the Windows is installed is known as the root folder. Or if you are working in the Linux, then that partition of the disk where your operating system is installed, it is known as the root folder. So there is specifically a root folder, that is the folder that has all the permissions of read, write, execute, and starting from that folder, how we are going to navigate to the file that where we want to go. It is going to describe the location in the reference of that root folder. Third, we have document hyperlink. It is used to connect contents within a specific document or on a local network. Suppose you must have seen that a table of content we have studied. Now there are such table of contents, we click on that heading and we navigate to that chapter or that subheading. So that is also a hyperlink that is present within those documents, and we are clicking on that hyperlink, we are going to that document or a specific location. That is known as what? Document hyperlink. Fourth type is what? Internet hyperlink. It is used to connect files and documents across the internet. Suppose I have inserted a link, and clicking on that link you are going to open a YouTube video, or clicking on that link some image from the internet is going to open up. That is known as what? Internet hyperlink. Benefits of using hyperlink: they help in including more information in the document through referencing. So by using hyperlinks, we can include more and more information in the document. Other references are also allowed. Suppose I want to reference a paragraph from some other Wikipedia or something, so I can include a hyperlink to that, and when the user is reading my document, they are going to click on that link, they are going to go to Wikipedia and they can read more about that topic. Or second is make the document easier to understand. So when more information is available, it is easier to understand. It makes the document is easier for the people to understand. Third is hyperlinks do not increase the size of the file as they are only links. So when we are including more information, that is not at the expense of increasing the file size. Hyperlinks do not increase the file size, they only have links there in the document, and that link takes us to the other document or a file, and we can see more information from there. Question number 6. What are conflicts in a shared spreadsheet and how to resolve them? Conflicts occur in a shared spreadsheet when two or more than two users try to change the same cell or a group of cells to a different value. So when there are more than two users that have the same shared spreadsheet and they want to change the same value, same cell or a same group of cells. Suppose there is a cell A3 in one sheet and it contains the number of users. So number of customers, say suppose now user 1 wants to change those number of customers to 2 lakh and user 3 wants to change that number of customers to 3 lakhs. So they all are changing the value in a same cell to different numbers. So this can occur conflicts. This is a situation of conflict. So how can you deal with it? So we have a mechanism known as resolving conflicts that is used for dealing with these conflicts. So resolving conflicts is necessary when we have to merge different versions of the shared spreadsheet. It is done with the help of resolve conflict dialog box, where each change is shown along with the option to accept it or reject it. So resolving conflicts is done when we have to merge those different data. We have got those files from those users and they have done all of their editing, and we see that they have the same cells or a group of cells that have different values and they are not matching, they are conflicting. So we want to merge both of those versions and we want to save a final copy of that sheet. So we are going to do resolve conflicts. That is going to be done with resolve conflict dialog box, and in those dialog box for each change option is going to be shown to us to accept it or reject it. So we can choose whether we have to accept our user 1 or whether we have to accept our user 2, or what we have to keep and what we not have to keep. Okay, question number 7. What is recording of changes? Explain its uses. So recording of changes is a feature of CalC that lets you keep track of what data has been changed, who made the changes and when they were made. So recording of changes, you are recording your changes, any of the changes that you make. So as we all know, we are talking about sharing of sheets. We have the spreadsheet shared all over. So now the user wants to record the changes. User wants to make changes to the worksheet but do not want to finalize it. Like it is written, it is used when changes have to be made in a worksheet on a temporary basis, which can later be made permanent by the verification from a superior authority. So they want to make changes to the sheet, but they cannot finalize it. It is made on the temporary basis, so they have to record, they have to keep track, they have to note down like what data was changed, who made the changes, and when these changes were made. So this can all be done by the feature of recording of changes. Question number 8. What is comparing documents? How it is useful? Comparing documents is a feature of CalC that lets you compare the edited document with the original document to find out. See, three things we can find out with comparing documents: what data has been inserted, what data has been deleted, and what data has been changed, and what was the previous or original data. It is used when the user of the shared spreadsheet forgets to record the changes they have made. So suppose the earlier process of recording of changes is not done. The user has made all of the changes, but we do not know what data has been changed, who made the changes, when they were made. So we are going to use the feature of comparing documents. We are going to compare, and result is going to be in front of us, like what data has been inserted, what has been deleted, what has been changed, and what was the original value that was present here. Then we can finalize our worksheet based on our analysis, like what we want to keep and what we want to delete. Question number 9. What is the use of adding comments in a spreadsheet? So comments are also added. Comments are added by the users to the shared spreadsheet to let the reviewers and authors know what changes have been made, by whom it is made, and the reason for making those changes. Also the time at which those changes were made. So comments can be added by the users who are making changes. And what do they add in comments? What changes have been made, by whom it is made, author of those changes, and the reason for making those changes, and also the timestamp, at what time, at what date it was made. Question number 10. What are macros? Explain advantages of using macros. Macros, it refers to the recorded set of instructions or keystrokes that can be reused later to perform the same task multiple times. It is what? It is a recorded set of instructions or keystrokes. Some things we want to record. Suppose we have a certain formatting applied to the document, or we have a certain calculations done in each sheet, and we have multiple thousands of sheets to format or thousands of sheets to calculate. So we can record those set of instructions, or we can record those keystrokes, and we can save them by a given name, and it will be known as what? It will be known as macros, and it can be later reused to perform the same task multiple times. Each macro can be used multiple times to perform the same task. Advantages of using macros: it reduces the possibility of human error by doing same task again and again. Suppose we have to do the same formatting in 500 sheets. So human error can come into place. Suppose one or two sheets they miss, or they cannot format it properly. But when using the macros, that possibility of human error is reduced. It makes the work faster, thus saving time. It can be done in a faster way as it is automated. We can readily apply macros without any delay. It can be used between multiple documents, so can be reused multiple times. One macro we have created, it is not necessary that we are using it in the same document. We can reuse it in multiple documents and multiple times. Unit 3rd, relational database management systems. So first of all, explain the concept of database. What is a database? What are the different types of databases? So database, simple and crisp definition of database. A database is an organized collection of interrelated data. So as you can see, it is a collection of what? Data. That data has two properties. First, it is interrelated data, that is related among themselves, and second, it is in an organized manner. Simple definition of database. Now we have DBMS. Full form of DBMS, database management system. It is an application software or program that is used to create and maintain a database. So application program or a software, any third-party software or any different software that we are using apart from the database, that is used for what? That is used for creation and maintenance of the database, is known as a database management system. So types of DBMS. We have 5 types of DBMS listed here. First is flat file based DBMS. It is the simplest form of databases that stores data in the form of single file or a single table. So earlier, when the concept of database was not there, we used to save our information in files, in a single form of files. So earlier also flat file database was there, flat file based DBMS. Next comes into picture relational DBMS. The database that stores data in the form of tables is known as tables related to each other is known as relational DBMS. So in relational DBMS, every data is present in the form of tables, and these tables are of what? They are related to each other. Third category is hierarchical DBMS. It stores data in the form of nodes that are linked together in the form of parent-child like tree-like model. So there has to be a parent, there has to be a child, and the linking between the data, various nodes of data or various objects of data, various elements of data is shown in the linkage of parent and child relationship. So it happens in the form of in the hierarchical DBMS, where we have a hierarchy made, like a family tree. You must have seen there are grandfathers, then they have their grandparents, then they have parents, and then they have their children. So all the data gets related to one another. That is falling in a tree-like pattern, in a tree-like relationship. Fourth, we have object-oriented database management system. It stores data in the form of objects or the separate entity that can be accessed through its addresses. So in the form of objects, suppose I have a car. So car is a real life object. Car is so there has to be some properties associated with those objects that are going to be replicated in all of those kind of objects. So cars, I talk of a class like cars. Like each car has some properties that will be similar in all of the cars. Like they have 4 tires, they have 1 steering wheel, 1 back mirror. So this is a very simple example to make you understand what is the object in real life. So like this only, we make objects of different elements of data or separate entities of data, and then we are going to store those objects in the database. That is going to be known as object oriented database management system. Last is network DBMS. It stores data that is scattered all over the network and can be accessed over the network. So when we have data stored on different places, on different computers that are linked across the network, and we are accessing those data by using the network only, then such kind of DBMS is known as network DBMS. What are the advantages of using databases? So there are various advantages of using databases. First is reduces data redundancy, also known as duplicate data or duplication of data. Data redundancy is what? Duplication of data. DBMS helps to reduce the duplicate copies of same data in the database. Suppose I have the name of the student saved in one table, then it is not going to be saved in other tables in the database. It is going to be linked from that main table only. So multiple copies of the same data will not be present there. Duplicate copies of the same data will not be present in the database. Second is reduces data inconsistency. This is multiple mismatching copies of the same data is known as data inconsistency. Suppose I have the name of students stored in 2 tables. One is the class tables and other is the suppose school table. In the school table also the name of the student is present, and in the class table also name of the student is present. Now if the student changes his or her name in the school table and it is not updated in the class table, then we have the student is same, but we have different values for it. In this class table there is some other name that is inserted there, and in the school table there is some other name. So like this, when we have multiple mismatching copies of the same data, it is known as what? Data inconsistency. Third is facilitates data sharing. DBMS provides methods of ways which makes it very easy to share data between the users and the applications. By using this DBMS, we can easily share data. So they have the ability to facilitate sharing data. They can easily provide you data what you need, and you can utilize those data or you can share those data among other users also. Fourth is increased data security. That data saved into a database is kept secure, and DBMS prevents unauthorized access. You know that data is everything in today's world. So each of the industry runs on data only. We have to keep that data safe of the industry. So DBMS prevents what? Unauthorized access to the database. Any person who is not authorized to view the data or to make any changes to the data will not be able to view the data or make changes to the data or delete the data. That is known as preventing unauthorized access, and it helps to increase data security. Fifth is reliable data integrity. DBMS ensures that data remains in an accurate and original format. So the format of the data is never changed, it is accurate, and all the parts of the data are complete and it remains in the original format as it was earlier. This is done by using DBMS and it ensures data integrity. Sixth is backup and recovery. DBMS helps to recover data in case it is accidentally deleted or damaged. So if you accidentally delete any file or you accidentally delete any table, or by suppose any fault occurs in your system and your database gets deleted, or it gets damaged, or it is not able to show data, then we have certain recovery mechanism, certain backup present in the DBMS that is going to help you recover all of the data that is lost, and it is going to give you a backup of your data to the last saved point. Question number 3. Explain the various data types in DBMS. So data types. What are data types? Data types are used to identify which type of data we are going to store in a database. It identifies what type of data. Suppose I am creating a new table. So it is essential for me to tell the database like what I am going to store in this table. Suppose there are 4 columns. So in those all 4 columns, first one will be name, or one will be number, one will be text or group of text or binary values. So each of the data type I have to specify when I am creating those database, or when I am creating those tables. So in relation to that, we have data types. Various types of data types are numeric data types. They store numbers, values like integer, big int, small int. So these are the examples of data type, integer data type, like big int, small int, long int we have. Okay, for real we have float, double. These are all the examples of numeric data types. Second, we have alphanumeric data types. They store mixed values of alphabets, that is small a to small z, capital A to capital Z, and numbers 0 to 9. Okay, so alphanumeric data types can store what? It combination of alphabets as well as numericals or numbers. Types of examples of them are character, char, character, and variable character, varchar. Third is binary data types. It stores data in the form of binary digits, that is zeros and one, and can be used to store any type of files like photos, videos, music, etc. Examples are binary, long-var binary, var binary. So you know that everything is stored in the computer in the form of zeros and ones, like photos we have, or videos we have, or music we have. These all are stored in the form of zeros and ones only in the computer. So they are stored by using this binary data types. How they are used? They are used by the keywords of binary, long-var binary, and var binary. Last is date time data type. So it is used for describing what? Storing the date and time in the database. Suppose I have to store at what time do my employees come to the office, or at what time do they leave, or at what time does any operation gets performed, any order gets executed, any transaction gets executed in the database. That all can be done by using this data type of date time data type. It has 3 parts: date, time, and timestamp. Question number 4. Explain various parts of relational database. So various parts of relational database are, first is rows or records. Rows and records we have in the database. They are what? The horizontal representation of a single group of related data in a table, also known as a single element of data or columns. So a record is what? It is the horizontal representation of a single group of data, single group of related data. A single element of data is known as a row or a record. The various attributes or properties of a single data element represent the various columns. So the columns are what? Now the different parts, you can say, of the records, or the different attributes or the different properties of that element are described by the various columns. Now table, the collection of rows and columns form the table. When we combine both of these rows and columns, then we form the table. That is the main building block of this relational database. Everything that is present in the relational database is in the form of tables. Question number 5. What is SQL? Explain its uses. SQL, it stands for Standard Query Language. Can be described as, so 3 categories I have drawn here of SQL. Taking on the first word, we have standard. It follows certain standards or rules. It stands for standard. S stands for standard, means certain rules are followed in this language. Q stands for query. It is used to query or ask or take out some data from the database. Query. It is a query language. We take out some data or store data. We can also store data by using these queries, or we can perform various operations that we are going to see further. So query, Q stands for query, and L stands for language. It is a programming language that is used to talk with the database, and you have to do any kind of to and fro of the data. You have to give and take of the data. That is going to be done with the using of this SQL language. Uses, it is used to perform CRUD operations on database. So every database has this operation, basic operations of known as CRUD operations. They are what? C stands for create data, R stands for read data, U stands for update data, and D stands for delete data. So these are the 4 basic operations that are done on any database for storing and maintaining of data, or utilizing that data that is going to be stored inside that data, that is create, read, update, and delete. So by using this SQL also we are going to do this 4 operations. Question number 6. Explain what are DDL, DML and TCL commands. So DDL stands for data definition language. They are the commands or queries used to define data or its structure it includes. So various commands included in DDL are create, alter, drop and truncate. What it does is it defines the data, any kind of definition that we want to provide of the data, and anywhere we want to define the data, that is done with the use of this DDL language. Commands are create is used for creating the table, alter is used for changing the structure of the table, drop is used for deleting the table, and truncate, this is used for emptying the table. Now we have DML. It stands for data manipulation language. This is used to manipulate or change the data. See, middle word we have, what do we have? Manipulation here. Earlier it was definition. Here we have manipulation. Manipulation means what? Changing the data. It is used to view, delete, update records in a table. So commands here are select command, insert command or update command. Select command is used to what? It is basically used to display various kinds of rows. Select the various kinds of rows and those rows are going to be outputted, or it is going to be displayed to the user. Insert command, it is used to insert some kind of data in the database. Update command, it is used to update the values that are already present and some new values will be set there. Delete command, it is going to delete some kind of values. Last we have TCL or transaction control language. See, applying these TCL commands is not in your syllabus, but they are for your knowledge sake. You have to write down. Suppose the question comes, what are TCL commands? Then you should be able to answer. They are used to control the transactions within the database. So the various things that are happening inside the database are known as what? Transactions inside the database. So we can control those transactions also by using these commands of commit command, rollback command and saves point command. So commit command is what? It is basically to complete a transaction or to register a transaction, we can say we use commit command. Second is rollback command. Suppose a transaction was not able to complete, it was not able to get the desired output, or it was not able to make the changes that it intended to make, then we have rollback command. It is going to roll back that transaction, all the changes that it has made in the course of its execution are going to be removed. They are going to be deleted and it is going to be initiated to its original position. Saves point command, it is used to save the database to a certain location, to a certain fixed point, to a certain state, you can say, and it which is available at in case of any loss is there, or in case of any disruption is there, or the database gets disrupted, it gets deleted but due to some mishappening. Then we have saves point command that is going to save the database at a certain point, and then from that point onwards it can be restored. Question number 7. Explain the various types of keys in a database. So a key is what? A key is a column or a group of columns that are used to identify a row in a table. It is used to establish and identify relationship between the tables. So it is a column. It is basically what? It is a column or a group of columns or multiple columns we are combining to do what? To identify a row in a column. All the rows we want to identify based on those columns of properties. It is used to establish and identify relationships between the tables. It can also identify relationships between the tables. So various types of keys that we are going to study here is primary key. First is primary key, most important. Primary key is what? Primary key is the key that is used to uniquely identify the records in a database. Its properties include that it must be unique for all rows and it should not contain null values. So primary key is a key that always has unique values, or uniquely identify the records in a tables. In all the rows it must have unique values so that it can identify each of the row differently. It can identify each of the record uniquely. So two properties it has: it must be unique for all rows and it should not contain any null values. Second is foreign key. This key is used for linking data between various tables. The foreign key of one table is the primary key of another table, and in which it is used for linking. Suppose we have linked two tables in between each other. So the primary key will be linked to the foreign key and it will be present in the previous table. Suppose in table 1 I had table 1 and table 2 are linked to each other. Table 1 and table 2 are linked to each other. Now in table 1 we have one primary key and one foreign key. Now that foreign key that is going to be present in table 1 is the primary key of table 2. From using that foreign key only, we are going to go from table 1 to table 2. Understood? It is used for linking the data between those tables. Third is candidate key. The other keys of the table which were capable of being used as primary key but were not selected as primary key are known as candidate key. So there can be multiple keys in a table which have not null values, which have unique values for all rows, but we can only select one primary key in a table. So all the keys that are left are known as what? Candidate keys. Fourth is composite key. When two or more than two keys are combined to be used as primary key, then they are known as composite key. Suppose we cannot find a single key that is uniquely identifying the records of the table. Then we are going to combine two or more than two rows, two or more than two columns, two or more than two columns, or two or more than two keys to be used as primary key. Then they will be known as what? Composite key. Fifth is alternate key. The other keys of the table that can be used as primary key are known as alternate key. So these are the alternates or the substitutes of the primary key. Any alternate key is the substitute of primary key. Suppose due to any discrepancy or due to any problem in the database, that primary key gets distorted and now we have certain null values or we have some missing values in the keys, and we want to change the primary key for some point of time, then we get other keys that we can consider are known as alternate keys. Question number 8. What are the different types of relationship in a relational database? The different types of relationships that are available in a relational database are one-to-one relationship. In this type of relationship, each data item of a table is related to single data item of the other table. Suppose there are two tables, table 1 and table 2. Now, each row of table 1 is related to a single row that is present in table 2. Then we have one-to-one relationship. So each data item is related to a single data item of the other table. That is known as what? One-to-one relationship. Second is one-to-many relationship. So one row is related to many other rows of the other table. Suppose we have a table of teachers and the table 2 is of students. Now one teacher can teach many students. So one row of the teacher table is going to be connected to multiple students, multiple rows of the second table. So it is going to be known as one-to-many relationship, or a relationship in which a single data item of one table can be linked to more than one data item of the other table. Third is many-to-many relationship. In this type of relationship, a data item is related to multiple other data items, which in turn can be related to multiple other data items of the previous table. When multiple rows of table 1 are related to multiple rows of table 2, and in turn also multiple rows of table 2 are related to multiple rows of table 1, this is known as many-to-many relationship. Question number 9. What is referential integrity? Give its advantages. So referential integrity, this is a previous year question. It was earlier also asked in the examinations. It refers to the set of rules that is used to maintain accuracy and consistency in the database. It ensures that the linked data is not changed accidentally without changing all its instances. Suppose we have certain linked data in the document. We have a data that is linked from table 1, table 2 and table 5. So in 3 tables the data is linked. Now if we delete that data in one table, suppose it is present in table 1 and we delete that data, then now it is going to create a void in table 2 and table 5. So this should not happen. So referential integrity is what? It is a set of rules that ensures that this does not happen. If you are making changes to the data, or if you are deleting the data, then you have to delete from all the instances, or if you are making changes to one instance, you have to update it on all the instances. Advantages of referential integrity. No related records can be deleted separately. So if the records are related, suppose I told you earlier, in table 1, table 2 and table 5 the records are related. So no related records can be deleted separately. They cannot be deleted separately, they have to be deleted from all the tables. If new records are to be added, then without the associated record it is not possible. Suppose I have a value in table 1 and it is associated with a certain kind of value of table 2. Suppose in table 1 I have name of a person and in table 2 I have address at which he lives. Now if I am going to add a new value in this table 1, the name of a person, then I should definitely add the record for the table 2, that is the address where he lives. If I do not have that data, then new addition of records is not possible without the complete information of the associated record. Third is, if the data item is modified at one place, then it gets updated everywhere. That is known as cascading updates. So like I told you earlier, there is a data item that is present in table 1, table 2 and table 5, and we are going to update it at one place. Suppose I update it in table 2. Now it is going to be automatically updated in table 1 and table 5 by the rules of this referential integrity, and it makes sure that Modification happens at all the places, and this feature is known as what? Cascading updates. Last question, question number 10. What are reports and forms in a database? Reports refers to the formatted representation of the data taken out from the database according to the user requirements that can be printed for further analysis of the data. So when we want to generate some kind of formatted representation of the data that can be printed or taken out for analysis. Suppose we have a database and data is stored there in a very interlinked manner, in a very form of tables, in a form of very technical way, you can say, that is not easier for everyone to understand. So we have, when we are representing it in a formatted manner, we are taking out the data from the database and making a report out of it, and it is in a formatted manner, it can be printed, then it is known as a report. That is done for what? It is used for analysis of data or understanding the data further. Second is forms. Forms are an interface in a user specified layout that is used to view the data, edit the data, as well as add the data. So it is what? It is a user specified layout and it is an interface. See, you must have filled the forms. Suppose you go for booking tickets, or you go for certain kind of inquiry in some institutes, or you go at various places, you find forms you have to fill. So it is what? It is an interface, or it is a formatted manner where you have to supply data, various data you have to fill. Similarly, forms we can also make in database. They are also an interface where we provide the layout how we want to say. Suppose first line should be the name of the candidate, below that surname of the candidate, then occupation of the occupation of father, mother, and then subject of interest, and likewise previous records, how much marks you have scored. So these are the user specified layout, and when we enter those data, it is going to go and get saved into the database. Similarly, if we are going to view the data, then in those fields only what data has been saved earlier, it is going to be fetched from the database and it's going to appear on those fields. So it is used for viewing the data, edit the data. We can also edit the data. Suppose I have opened the form for viewing the data and I find that some data is wrong there, so I can edit the data also. I can change the data there and then in those fields, and when we are going to save it, the new data is going to get saved in those places. So with this, moving on to unit number 4, that is web application and security. Question number 1, we have what are accessibility options? Explain sticky keys, toggle keys, filter keys, and serial keys. So accessibility options are what? It refers to the various options present in the operating systems that make the computer easier to use for all, even for persons with the disabilities. So suppose there are some persons who have certain kind of disabilities, like they cannot move their hands properly, or their hands are shaking, or they cannot see properly, or they cannot listen properly. There are people with certain kind of disabilities. So when we make our computer, when we make the operating system so much convenient for them, easier for them to use, then the features that are included are known as what? Accessibility features. Some of the features that are included in accessibility are sticky keys, filter keys, toggle keys, and serial keys. So sticky keys are what? It is used by the people that have disability to press 2 keys at once. So there are some people who cannot press 2 keys at once. So we are using the feature of, we have made a feature of sticky keys here. So by using this feature, they can keep one of the major keys pressed automatically, like CTRL, Alt, Shift, until the other key is pressed. So they can press automatically this CTRL key or Alt key or Shift key. It can be kept pressed till the time any other key is pressed, so that they can apply a combination of keys to access various shortcut options or to access various features. Then we have filter keys. Filter keys are what? It is a feature that lets people with shaking hands type on the keyboard. Suppose someone has very much shaking hands and they cannot type on the keyboard easily. So this is a feature, filter keys. It lets you do what? It lets you type on those with those hands on the keyboard. This feature, when turned on, ignores brief and repeated keystrokes. So brief keystrokes means somebody is pressing some keys, but it is not being pressed completely. It is pressed in a brief manner, in a very short time span. That is known as brief. Suppose we are shaking hands, they are touching some kind of keys. Or repeated keystrokes. A person wants to press a certain key, suppose S, and then S is getting pressed for a long time, or it is getting pressed multiple times. So they can be ignored by using this feature of filter keys. Third, we have toggle keys. It is a feature that allows people with disability to see and understand, to know when the toggle keys like caps lock, num lock, and scroll lock is turned on and off with a beep sound. So it is used by people who have difficulty to see. They cannot see properly, and it is made for them. And what happens in this, when scroll lock, num lock or caps lock is turned on, a beep sound is emitted by the computer that can be easily analyzed by them. Last, we have serial keys. This feature helps the people with disabilities to use keyboard or mouse or both that can provide inputs like sip, puff, breath switches connected to the computer. So the people who cannot provide input by using keyboard and mouse, they cannot use keyboard, either keyboard or mouse or both of them. Then they can provide input by using the sip, puff or breath switches. So sip and puff is related to your mouth. By the mouth they can provide, or breath, by the breath, that is also connected to the mouth only. By the breath they can provide various inputs to the computer. Question number 2, what is the computer network? Explain its advantages and types of network. So a computer network refers to the group of computers that are connected together using special hardware or software for the purpose of sharing data and resources. So a computer network is what? It is a group of computers that are connected together with special hardware and software by using certain kind of cables or certain kind of Wi-Fi devices or certain kind of hardware for the purpose of what? Sharing data and resources. Only two things we have. One is the data that we want to share and resources we want to share. Resources can be in the form of hardware resources or any software resources. Advantages of computer network: facilitate sharing of data and resources that we have earlier seen. By using the computer network, we can easily share our data from one place to another and our resources also. Suppose printer I want to share among the network, or I want to share a video capturing device over the network, that I can share. Second is saves time and eases communication. Computer network saves your time by transferring data and messages from one place to another fastly. So we can transfer our data and messages in a very fast manner in very short span of time, and it saves our time in communication. Third is central storage of data. Computer networks allow data to be saved centrally and be used from multiple locations on the network. So it allows central storage of data. We do not need to replicate data on various computers, or if it is present on one computer that is attached to the network, then it can be shared by that computer over the network, and the other computers that are connected to the network can access the data that is saved centrally on that computer. Fourth is application software as a service. Various types of softwares can be shared to be used and worked upon on the cloud, thus offering software as a service. So nowadays 90% of the applications that you are using, like WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, or other kinds of applications that you must be using in a daily life, they are applications that are being hosted somewhere else on the cloud, and you are just a client to those services, and you are using those services by the help of various networks. So various types of softwares, they are softwares that are shared to be used or worked upon. You are working upon those softwares by the cloud, and the software is being offered as a service to you. Next we have different types of network. So different types of network based on the size of the network. How big a network is, classification based on the size of the network. We have LAN, MAN and WAN. That is local area network. This is the smallest type of network. It can be spread from a room to a building or a group of buildings, contains minimum number of computers. So this is the smallest kind of network that is present. It is spread over a room or over a building or over a group of buildings, and can have couple of computers joined together and have minimum number of computers, we can say. So this is the smallest type of network. Second we have MAN, that is metropolitan area network. This type of network can be present between computers in different cities around 20 to 30 kilometers apart. So we have two adjacent cities, and there we want where we have branches of different organizations, suppose, and we want to connect those branches, or we want to connect those offices, then we can use metropolitan area network. It connects between different cities that are approximately 20 to 30 kilometers apart. Third is the largest type of network, that is wide area network. It is the largest form of network that is present between countries and continents. Example is internet. So the largest form of network that you can imagine, that is present between countries or between continents, connecting all over the globe, is known as what? Wide area network. Question number 3, what are the different types of network based on network architecture? So based on the size we have seen earlier. Based on size we have LAN, MAN and WAN. Third is based on the network architecture. Based on network architecture, the computer network can be classified into two types. They are client server architecture network, in which certain computers have a special dedicated task providing services to other computers in the network, are called client server networks. The computers which provide the service are called servers, and the ones that use these services are called clients. So this is the basically kind of architecture or client kind of network, we can say, where one computer has a heavier hardware or has multiple tasks to do, is designated multiple tasks, and it acts as a server. It provides services to all the other computers that are connected in those networks. So there has to be only one server. In client server architecture, there can be only one server, and all the other computers that are connected are known as clients. They work as clients. They request for the services, and the server provides the services to those other computers known as clients. Second is peer-to-peer architecture. Network in which all computers have equal status are called peer-to-peer networks, generally in which a network each terminal has an equally competent CPU. So it is a kind of network where each of the computer can request for the service and each of the computer can provide the service. Each of the computer has equal status. Every computer is same in the case of hardware, in case of services it can provide, or in case of resources that it has. So it is known as peer-to-peer architecture. Question number 4. What is an ISP? Explain different types of common internet connectivity. ISP, full form of ISP is what? Internet Service Provider. It is an organization which provides you with access to the internet via dial-up using modem or a direct hardware or wireless connection. So it is an organization that provides you access to the internet or connection to the internet. It is known as Internet Service Provider. Some of the various internet service providers in India, like major telecom companies, you must have seen Airtel, V, Jio. These all are ISPs. They are providing you internet, BSNL. These are all known as ISPs. These are organizations which provide you access to the internet. Can be done through what? Dial-up connections or modem, or direct hardwired. Suppose we have these optical fibers laid down and they bring internet to your home or in your offices. They are known as hardwired. Or wireless connections you have by using the telephone signals, by using the telecom towers. You have wireless connections that is going to be present in your phone. Internet is coming, that's known as wireless connection. Types of common internet connectivity. There are different types of internet connectivity available today. It can be widely categorized into wired and wireless access. Following table is a summary of different types of internet connectivity categorized into wired and wireless. So there are the various ways. Dial-up connection, this is wired. DSL, this is wired again. Cable internet access, again wired. 3G is wireless. WiMAX is wireless. Wi-Fi is wireless. So 3G is now upgraded to 4G and now 5G. WiMAX is again a technology that is a wireless mode of providing you connectivity. Wi-Fi is again wireless. So dial-up, DSL and cable internet is wired, and rest 3 are wireless. Question number 5. What is instant messaging? Explain the term blogging. Instant messaging is a form of communication over the internet that offers an instantaneous transmission of text-based messages from sender to receiver. The text that we send on various communication apps like WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger, where our message gets transferred instantaneously at that fraction of seconds. The message is getting transferred from one phone to another. Then such kind of platform, such kind of form of communication is known as instant messaging. Most instant messaging software include the option of performing file transfer, audio chat, video calling and conferencing, sharing desktop, etc. apart from standard text chat. So now various other features are also included, that are what? Audio chat, video calling, conferencing, sharing of other files, desktops. This all we can do nowadays in the instant messaging applications like WhatsApp, Messenger, Instagram, etc. Key features of instant messaging are as follows. Text message can be sent from one or more persons, similar to SMS. So they can be sent in bulk or in groups. We can send messages. Audio calling and conferencing, we can do audio calling as well as conference calls we can do. Video calling, similarly, video calling and conferencing, we can do video calls to multiple peoples, or we can do conference calls, video calls. File transfer, not limited to documents, spreadsheet, audio files, video files, etc. We can do files transfer from one person to another. Various types of files can be sent, not limited to documents, spreadsheet or audio video. Any kind of file is there, you can send it over the any kind of platform. Messaging history saves messages for further reference. So earlier what we have messaged and what we have said, what not we have said, it is all kept as a record there, and you can access it at any time. Second part was regarding the blog. So what is a blog? A blog is an online website that is used by an individual for posting various entries daily that can contain information related to personal views, news or any other topic of interest. These topics are displayed in reverse chronological order. That is, the latest posts are shown on the top, followed by the other post. So a blog is what? It is an online website where A individual or a organization, individual, it is written individual, organization can also own a website or own a blog, sorry, and they can post what various entries related to information related to their personal views, news, or any other topic of interest, or any of the activities that they are doing, any of the things that they are undertaking. They can post information regarding to that. Suppose your school is there, your school can also start a blog where they can post regarding what activities are done daily, on a daily basis in the school, how the students are learning new technologies, what are the various educational methods used, what are the various facilities given in the school. All things they can describe in that blog. Next is blogging. It is the act of posting or posting regularly on a blog site or running a blog site. So when the act of posting on those blog is known as blogging. Question number 6. What is an online transaction? Explain e-shopping and e-ticketing. Online transaction deal with transfer of money over the internet. So when we transfer money from one place to another, from one bank account to another, it is known as online transaction. Revolution in the electronic media has made transaction handling easy. Nowadays, money can easily be transferred from one device to another using UPI and other methods. So now, as you have seen, Paytm is there, PhonePe is there, Bhim UPI is there. Many methods are there for transferring or for sending money from one bank account to another that we use on our daily to daily basis. This is all comes under online transaction. E-shopping, the process of buying some goods or products through online through e-commerce website like Flipkart, Amazon, etc. is known as e-shopping. You must be doing this on a regular basis. We shop for many things online on websites like Flipkart, Amazon, or Snapdeal, or many websites are there. We buy many things from there. Each kind of goods are available there, and this is known as e-shopping. E-ticketing, the process of securing a paperless digital tickets online or through a website by booking your travel or reserving your place at an event or a hotel. The process of securing a paperless digital ticket. So we want to buy what? In this case, we want to buy a paperless digital ticket. We want to buy a ticket that is paperless and digital for booking your travel or securing your place, reserving your place at an event or a hotel or something like this. Then it is known as e-ticketing. Question number 7. What is internet security? Explain various steps to be followed to ensure cyber safety. So internet security is what? Refers to safe and responsible use of the internet. When we are using the internet, we have to be very much responsible. We have to be very much vigilant. We have to be keeping ourselves protected to protect ourselves from any cyber crimes or viruses or any harmful elements that are present over the internet. Internet is a very unsafe place, various viruses are spread over the internet. Various peoples are there, hackers are there, those who are intending to steal your information, your personal information, and then they are trying to cause you personal harm. So we should be very much vigilant, we should be very much aware, and we should use the internet very much safely to ensure internet security. Various steps to be followed to ensure cyber safety are what? Use strong password. You should strong passwords you should make for your every of your account. What does strong passwords include? It includes uppercase, lowercase letters, it includes numbers, it includes special characters. All these should be included in your passwords to make it a strong password. Second is change your passwords often. You have to change your passwords often. You should not keep a single password on your account for a very long time. You should change it often. Third is install antivirus in a firewall. You should install various antivirus and various firewalls to protect you from various kinds of viruses or unauthorized accesses. Fourth is update your system regularly. We should update the system regularly to keep a check of anything, if everything is fine or not, or any new update is there regarding any new kind of virus, or any new update is there regarding new functionality that must have came. We should update our system to keep a track of it. Fifth is never visit unknown site or open unknown files or emails. So never go to some unknown site that seems to be creepy, or that seems to be something malicious is there. Some notification is shown that you should not go to, the site is unsecure, you should not visit it, so you should not try to go to that site. Question number 8. What is an accident, hazard, and an emergency? So there are three definitions that are asked multiple times. You can get MCQs from this, or they can be asked in the theory questions also. First is accident. It is defined as an unfortunate event that occurs unintentionally, causing hazardous result or injury or unwanted results. So it is defined as an unfortunate event. An accident is an unfortunate event that occurs unintentionally, unknowingly it occurs, and causes hazardous result or injury. So it results into unwanted results or some harms it does to you, hazardous results it provides. Next is hazard. Hazard is a dangerous phenomena, a substance or a human activity or a condition. So four things are given here: phenomenon, substance, human activity or a condition. It may cause loss of life, injury or other health impacts, property damage, loss of livelihood and services, social economical disruption or environmental damage. So anything that has the possibility of harming you, any phenomena is there, it has the possibility of harming you, has the possibility of causing health damage to you, property damage to you, loss of livelihood, then it is termed as hazard. Any substance is there, suppose there some acid is kept there in some factory, and there is a chance that it may get spilled and it can cause loss of property, it can impact various damages, then it is also hazard. Human activity, some mining activity is going on and it can result it to on certain kind of loss of, you can say, loss of life can occur if the buildings, if the things collapse, if the mines collapse, or if some kind of tragedy happens there. So it is a very hazardous activity. Condition, any kind of condition, suppose a bridge is there and it has grown very much old, so it is in a hazardous condition, it can collapse anytime resulting into property damage, loss of life. Dangerous phenomenon, similarly dangerous phenomenon, like if there is a flood in the area, so now all the electricity of the area is disrupted, all the wires are touching the waters, and if it is a very big hazard, if the electricity comes to that area, then it can result in a lot of loss of life, injury to many people as well as animals. So it is a very dangerous phenomenon. Any phenomenon can also, like phenomena is a, flood is a phenomena, or any kind of thing that is occurring, any kind of event that is occurring. Fourth is emergency, any unexpected situation that needs immediate attention and action. An emergency situation might pose a sudden risk of life, property, health, and needs intervention of prevent deteriorating result and heart hazards. So emergency is what? It is an unexpected situation that needs immediate attention and action. So in an emergency situation, you have to act immediately, you have to provide immediate attention to do good the causes, to recover from the losses, you to provide certain actions that can minimize any further loss. Okay, next we have question number 9. What is workplace evacuation? In case of emergency, there should be a provision for evacuation. Evacuation is the process of emptying a place in case of any emergency or disaster. So the process of emptying a place, the process of getting out of the building, the process of emptying a office or emptying a building, emptying a, you can say, a factory is there and some accident happens there. So the process of getting out all the people out of that factory is known as evacuation. Steps to follow for workplace evacuation are: do not panic, proceed calmly towards the exit. We should not panic and we should proceed calmly towards the exit. We should not panic all of a sudden, and we should follow the exit plan. Follow the exit plan as decided earlier and proceed calmly towards the exit centers that are present. In case of fire, do not take the lift, instead go from the stairs. So if any fire is there, then you should not go for taking the lift, you should go from the stairs, because in case of any fire, the lifts do not work. Try to help children, women and other minors who are in need. So if there is any children, any women or any other minor that cannot evacuate themselves on their own, then you must try to help them as much as you can. Contact your nearest rescue center for further instructions. For any further evacuation instructions or what you have to do after that, then you should contact the nearest rescue station. So these are the various steps we followed for workplace evacuation. So if you have came this far in the video, please consider subscribing to our channel, liking the video, sharing the video with the people who need it, or it will be helpful for other students who want to revise the subject. Question 10 is for you to solve. You have to comment your answers in the comments and you have to tell how was the video. Give some topics that you feel important to be discussed, that are left out in the video, or you want me to discuss them in depth, or you want me to make a new video regarding to those topics. You can give those topics in the comments and tell us your answers in the comments. Thank you. Bye.